Hello everyone. I believe that all of you are staying at home safely. So students, can you hear me properly? Is the sound clear or not?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, can you see the board clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll start after 2 minutes. We will wait for other students as all of the students can join with us, okay? And one reminder is that if you have any problem to hear me or to see the board, then please inform me directly. Do not write down on the chat box. Use chat box only for writing your ID number. And I think probably this is our last class before our Eid vacation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Probably, I am not sure.
Yes, ma'am. The 23rd will be the vacation.
I see. As far as I know, probably this is the last week.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, students, please wait for 1 or 2 minutes for your friends still who are not present in the class, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
How many classes are you participate in a day, average?
In 1 week, 2 days, 5 classes, and 2 days, 3 classes.
2 days, 5 classes, I think it's a large number of classes, right?
Yes, ma'am. 5 hours at a stretch in front of laptop or mobile.
Yes. It's tough to maintain concentration. If in a day you participate 5 classes, right?
Your class is the fifth one, madam, today.
I see. This is the third one for me, okay? I think you were tired more than me. So, but still try to give concentration. All of you know that this topic or this subject is quite different from any other subjects, and here there are so many formula, okay? Basically for Fourier analysis, there are so many formulas, so here, and it is quite different, right? So I think you should give attention to understand this topic. And in our previous classes, we have learned about Fourier series, half range sine Fourier series, half range cosine Fourier series, and Fourier integral, both for odd functions and even functions. And today we will discuss about a new topic, which is Fourier transform. And today I will try to prove one theorem by using the formula of Fourier transform.
ম্যাম আপনি কি এটা দিয়ে দিয়েছেন ফুরিয়ার ট্রান্সফর্মের?
Yes, I provided it in the Google Classroom.
থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম।
Okay. And today I will provide the class recording only, okay?
Okay,
So today we'll learn about Fourier transform, and today I will try to prove one theorem that is known as convolution theorem. And so I think we should start from now, and probably all of the students are present here, already 5 minutes over. So today we'll start from Fourier transform, and there are two types of Fourier transform. One is finite and another is infinite. And finite transform contains two. One is for sine transform and another is cosine transform. Similarly, infinite contains two. One is for sine, another is for cos. So we get 4 transforms. First one is finite Fourier sine transform, finite Fourier cosine transform. And the second two are infinite Fourier sine transform and infinite Fourier cosine transform. And here there is an interesting thing is that there are many alternate formulas for finite transform. Okay. So generally we will try to show very used formula, and one specific formula which we will use in our today's proof, that is convolution theorem. So at first, finite Fourier sine transform. If you consider f of x as a function and it is defined in this interval 0 to L, then its finite Fourier sine transform is denoted by Fsn, Fs of n, and it is expressed or defined by integration 0 to L f of x sine n by x by L dot dx. Here, this Fs of n is known as finite Fourier sine transform of the function f of x. What is this? So at first consider this expression Fs of n is equal 0 to L f of x sine n by x by L dot dx. And here this function Fs of n is known as finite Fourier sine integral of the function f of x. And reversely, the function f of x is called the inverse finite Fourier sine transform, which is denoted like this. I'm repeating again. Here this is Fs of n is known as finite Fourier sine transform of the function f of x, and it is defined like this: 0 to L f of x sine n by x by L dot dx. But here the capital F of x, this function is known as inverse finite Fourier sine transform, which is defined by this f of x is equal to by L summation Fsn sine n by x by L. So basically here the function f of x and the function Fs of n are related. This is known as finite Fourier sine transform of f of x, and f of x is known as inverse finite Fourier sine transform of this. What is this? Here Fsn and f of x are related like this. This is known as, can you see the last line? What have I written?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Here,
Yes, ma'am.
Fs of n is known as finite Fourier sine transform of f of x, right? And this is known as inverse finite Fourier sine transform of this. Okay, I think you get the clear idea. And the bad thing is that you have to memorize such type of formula for this course. Okay. Now you will see the finite Fourier cosine transform. Okay.
ম্যাম ফুরিয়ার কি কারো নাম?
Sorry.
ফুরিয়ার এটা কি কারো নাম?
No. Okay. Then now we will learn about finite Fourier cosine transform, and it will be as like Okay, basically Fourier transform is derived from Fourier integral. Okay, such type of Fourier transform is derived from Fourier integral, and these are the expressions for cosine transform, finite Fourier cosine transform, and here FCN. Here FC of n, it is representing, or it is the notation of finite
Finite
Fourier.
Fourier cosine transform.
Yes, finite Fourier cosine transform, and here it is known as finite Fourier cosine transform of the function f of x. And this f of x is known as inverse finite Fourier cosine transform of this. What is this? Here, this is known as finite Fourier cosine transform of f of x, and this is known as inverse finite Fourier cosine transform of this. Okay. Now we will know the formula for infinite Fourier sine transform and infinite Fourier cosine transform. Since we are talking about infinite, in that case, you can understand that here the integral will be improper integral, okay? Infinite Fourier sine transform, and here I just write down the formula or the expression, and the detailed calculation or book is definition is given in our class materials. Okay, here the expression of fs of n, this is known as infinite Fourier sine transform. The notation of infinite Fourier sine transform of a function f of x, is this. What is this? Infinite Fourier sine transform of a function f of x is this, and it is given by 0 to infinity f of x sine nx dx. And the capital F of x, this is known as what? Here this is
Inverse
known as
infinite Fourier sine transform.
yes, inverse infinite Fourier sine transform. And here, since it is infinite, that's why the integrals are improper integrals. Okay. Now we will learn the formula for infinite Fourier cosine transform. It is probably, and one thing is that here it is 0 to infinity f s of n sine nx and dn. Here this integral is with respect to n, and the first one is with respect to x. Okay. So for cosine it will be fcn 0 to infinity f of x cos nx dx, right? And this is the infinite Fourier cosine transform, and this is the inverse infinite Fourier cosine transform, inverse, and it is written like this. There will be an extra term here. It will be 1 by pi fc0 plus 2 by pi 0 to infinity fcn cos nx dx. Here for infinite and finite Fourier sine and cosine transform, the expressions are quite similar, and the different thing is here. For cosine, you have to add an extra term. For finite, it will be 1 by L fc0, and for infinite, it will be 1 by pi fc0. Okay. And for sine time, you have to use sine, and for cos, you have to use cos. And the second one is second integral is with respect to n, and the first integral is with respect to x. Okay. Now today I will learn about a theorem that is known as convolution theorem. This is the main target of our today's lecture. Okay. Convolution theorem, this is the main target of our today's lecture. But before understanding convolution theorem, at first you have to know what is convolution. At first, you have to know what is convolution. Please silence your device.
কি খাবো?
Silence your device, please.
হুম? না না
Excuse me.
কেউ তো আপনি যে মুড়ি মেখাবে
Who is this? Please silence your device.
সাগর মিউট কর।
So, our today's lecture's main target is to prove convolution theorem, and before starting this theorem, you should know about the convolution. Here, I just try to show what is convolution. Suppose h of x is a function, and if h can be expressed as like this, f star z, if the function h of x can be expressed like this, h f star z, and which is expressed in terms of 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u z of x minus u du. And you can also write down it like this, 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity z of u x of f of x minus u du. Any type of expression, and which is the written as like two functions f star z is called the convolution of two integrable functions f and g over the interval minus infinity to plus infinity, where basically f and z are representing two integrable functions. What is this? F and z are representing two integrable functions, and if it can be written that h of x is equal f star z, that means the star product of two, that is the product of two integrable functions, that it can be written like this, 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u z of x minus u. And such type of expression, h of x is equal f star z, where f and z are two integrable functions, is known as the convolution. This expression f star z is known as the convolution of two integrable function f and g, and it is denoted by h of x. What is this? At first, we will try to know what is convolution. F star z, this is known as the convolution of two integrable functions f and g, and it is denoted by h of x and expressed by f star z is equal h of x. And in integrable form, it can be written as 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u z of x minus u du, and you can write down f of u as f of x minus u and g of x minus u as z of u. That means you can change here, you can change the variable of your function. That means you can interchange the variable of your functions. You may consider f of u into z of x minus u, otherwise f of x minus u into z of u, as like this. And this relation f star z is known as the convolution of two functions f and g. It is denoted by h of x. And its integrable expression is this one or this one. Okay, I think you get the initial idea about convolution. Is there any problem to get idea about convolution? What is convolution? Anyone? Yes or no, please.
No,
I know
ma'am.
you are tired.
No, ma'am.
Okay, now we will go for convolution theorem. And you have to learn the proof of this theorem. This is the pathetic thing, right? So before proof, you have to know about the statement. What is the statement of convolution theorem? Okay, basically this is our convolution theorem. What is this? If f of x, that means the Fourier transform of f of x. Here this means the Fourier transform of f of x. This means the Fourier transform of g of x at the Fourier transform of the function f of x and g of x. That means if this is the Fourier transform of f of x and this is the Fourier transform of g of x, then the Fourier transform of the convolution of g of x and f of x. What is the convolution? You know that f star z. This sign is represents the convolution between two functions, right? So the convolution of f of x and g of x, that means f of x convolution of g of x is the product of their Fourier transform. So the Fourier transform of the convolution, this is the convolution of two functions and its Fourier transform can be written like this. And it will be equal. Okay. Can I remove the upper part? Yes, I can remove the upper part. So the statement is like this. Suppose f of x and g of x are two functions, and if this is the Fourier transform of f of x and this is the Fourier transform of g of x. This is the Fourier transform of f of x. This is the Fourier transform of g of x. If this, then the convolution of f of x and g of x is like this, right? This is the convolution of f of x and g of x. That means the convolution of two functions. And its Fourier transform, its Fourier transform will be equal to the product of two Fourier transform. One is for f of x and another is for g of x. Basically, this is the statement of convolution theorem. What is this? F of x and g of x are two functions, and if this is the Fourier transform of f of x, this is the Fourier transform of g of x, then the Fourier transform of the convolution of f of x and g of x. This is the convolution. This is the Fourier transform of convolution of f of x and g of x, and it is equal to the product of the Fourier transform of f of x and g of x. Okay. Have you understand about the statement of convolution theorem? Is there any problem to understand the statement of convolution theorem?
जी मैम.
Okay. Here f of x and g of x are two functions, and this represents the Fourier transform of f, Fourier transform of z. And this part is the convolution of these two functions. And the statement is the Fourier transform of the convolution of two functions is equal to the product of the convolution of that two functions. This is the statement of convolution theorem. Now we will prove this convolution theorem. Is there any problem to understand the statement of convolution theorem? Otherwise, I will go for the proof.
No ma'am.
Okay. But before starting proof, you have to know alternate formula of infinite Fourier sine and cosine transform. Okay, and it is represented in terms of complex form, which is this. Basically, before starting our proof, here you should know this alternate formula, because in our proof we will use this formula. Okay, in proof we will use this formula, and this is an alternate formula of infinite Fourier series. Alternate formula of infinite Fourier series, and here it is derived from the complex form, since it contains e to the power iux and e to the power minus iux. So you can understand that it is derived from the complex form of Fourier integral or Fourier series. Okay, so this is the alternate form of Fourier series, which is f of u is equal, that means the Fourier transform is equal 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of x e to the power iux dx. This is known as Fourier transform, and its inverse Fourier transform is written like this: 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u e to the power minus iux dx. And since it contains e to the power iux and e to the power minus iux, so it is derived from the complex form of Fourier series. Okay, so we need this formula only: 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of x e to the power iux dx is equal Fourier transform of f of x or f of u. Here u means f of x. So Fourier transform of f of x is expressed by this formula: 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of x e to the power iux dx. This is the Fourier transform of f of x, and in our theorem we will use this formula. We will use this formula: 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of x e to the power iux dx. Now we will start for the okay, suppose f of x and g of x are two functions, then by the definition of convolution we can write f of x star g of x. And what is the integral expression for convolution theorem? Can anyone say? Now you will start from the definition of convolution, and you know the convolution of two function f and z is written like this: f star z, and it contains, or it has a specific integral formula, that is 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u z of x minus u. F of u z of x minus u into du, right? Can you write down this equation from the definition of convolution? Can you remember what was the definition of convolution? Please, I need your cooperation.
Yes, ma'am. You can write.
Okay. So now we will prove our theorem by using this relation. This is the convolution of two functions. And if I want to find the Fourier transform of this convolution, then we can write Fourier transform of this convolution, right? This is the Fourier transform of this convolution. So you have to take also the Fourier transform of this. It will be Fourier transform of 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u c of x minus u du. Okay. Now it is similar as the left side of our proof. Now we have to prove the right side only. Okay. It is similar as the left side of our convolution theorem. Now we will prove only the right side. It can be written like this. Here f of this means you have to find the Fourier transform of this function. You have to consider this whole part as a function. Okay. You
Yes,
have to
yes.
consider this whole one as a function, and you have to find the Fourier transform of these functions. So it can be written as 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity. Now let me write down one thing. Here it is a side note, okay? It is a side note. Now I am writing a side note about f of x. 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of x e to the power I wx dx. Okay. Basically, this is the alternate formula which I use in this theorem. What is this? The Fourier transform of any function is equal 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity of that function into e to the power iwx into dx. Okay, now I apply this formula here. I apply this formula here on the right side. It will be 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of x. Here basically f of x means this whole part. Have you got my point? Here f of x in this formula, f of x means the whole part into e to the power iwx dx. So write down this as like 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of x, and f of x means this whole part. 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u c of x minus u du e to the power iwx into dx. Okay, and this root over 2 pi will be 1 by 2 pi minus infinity to infinity. We can consider f of u and du for this first integral, f of u and du for this integral. And for this integral, we will consider minus infinity to infinity z of x minus u e to the power iwx into dx. Okay, so
ম্যাম একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল।
yes, ask your question please.
মানে ম্যাম আমার নেটের সমস্যা ছিল তো ই টু দি পাওয়ার i ওমেগা x এটা করতে কারণে যদি আরেকবার একটু
Okay, basically here we are using, and for proving this convolution theorem, you have to use an alternate formula of Fourier transform, and it is expressed, it is derived from the Fourier series of complex form. Okay, since here it contains e to the power iwx, that means it represents complex form, and it is derived from the complex form of Fourier series, and the formula is f of x. That means the Fourier transform of a function is equal 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity this function f of x into e to the power iwx dx. Okay, and this alternate formula is derived from the complex form of Fourier series.
জি ম্যাম।
Now is it okay?
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
Okay. So here 1 by 2 pi minus infinity infinity f of u du. And in this case, minus infinity infinity g of x minus u. Here the z is a function of x minus u, so we will try to write down as like e to the power I w x minus u. Okay, what is this? Here z is a function of x minus u, so we will try to write down e to the power I w x as e to the power I w x minus u. But here I w x e to the power I w minus I w u, right? And this is an extra term. This is an extra term, and if you want to vanish this term, you can multiply another IWU, right? If you consider omega to the power IWX, omega to the power minus IWX, and e to the power IWU, then these two things will cancel each other, and the rest part will be only this. So in the place of this, can we write down e to the power IWX minus u into e to the power IWU? Is it possible to write down in the place of e to the power IWX?
Yes, ma'am.
জি,
Possible,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Is it possible? So we will try to write down this here. It's too tough to write down such like of large line in this small board. So we can write down this, right? Now take e to the power IWU in the first integral. So it will be 1 by 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of u e to the power IWU into du, right? And the second one can be written minus infinity to infinity z of x minus u e to the power IW x minus u into dx. Okay. So for the first integral, consider u as x. For the first integral, consider u as x, and here x minus u consider as z. Will I complete the evaluation? Okay. Here 1 by 2 root of 2 pi can be written as 1 by root over 2 pi into 1 by root over 2 pi, right? 1 by 2 pi can be written 1 by root over 2 pi into 1 by root over 2 pi, and this one will be, if you consider u is equals to x. So from the first integral, we can write f of x e to the power IWX dx, right? From the first integral, if you consider x is equal to u, then we can write minus infinity to infinity f of x e to the power IWX into dx. Now, for the second, it will be minus infinity to infinity z of x minus u e to the power IW x minus u into dx. And can you say me what is the result for this part? Can you remember the formula? What is the alternate formula for Fourier theorem of Fourier transform of a function f of x? Can you write down it as f of x? Yes,
ma'am.
this is similar to this. Now we will try to convert this. Now we will try to convert the second integral, that is 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to minus infinity, and let consider x minus u as z. Let consider x minus u as z. Then we will get this part, right? If you consider here x minus u as z, then we will get this, right? Here you can write down a side note, let x minus u as z. I think now we can see the last part, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for the part, you can consider x minus u as z. So 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity z of z e to the power IWZ dz. So from here we can write down Fourier transform of f of x, and here and is it possible to consider z is equals to x for the second integral? Here, is it possible to consider x is equal z? Yes, if we consider for the second integral z is equals to x, then it will be z of x e to the power iwx into dx. We are at the end of our proof.
ম্যাম আরেকবার বলবেন যে x মাইনাস z থেকে x এ কিভাবে গেল?
Okay, here just consider z is equals to x, nothing else.
Okay.
Consider let z is equals to x. Then what will be the result for 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity z
f of
x?
g of x.
f of g of
It
x.
will be f of z of x. So in the left side it was Fourier transform of the convolution of f of x and g of x. It was the left side of our proof, and it is equal Fourier transform of f of x into Fourier transform of z of x. So our theorem is proved, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, we are done. So you have to learn this proof. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem to understand about this theorem or the convolution, definition of convolution? I know it is quite tough to remember all of the formulas. So please try to write down it togetherly, okay? When you write down it togetherly, then I think it will be easier for you to memorize. In this course, you have to memorize many formulas. So try to write down those formulas togetherly, and when you read it or when you write it togetherly, then you can differentiate the difference between one to another, okay? And in that case, you can ignore the, in that case, you can ignore the incorrect formula. So, students, we are at the end of our today's class. And I think all of you have written your ID number.
ম্যাম
Yes, ma'am.
ম্যাম আমাদের ফ্রেন্ড ম্যাম নিয়াজ জাহিন রোল নাম্বার 22 ও
Yes.
ইন্টারনেট কানেকশনের একটু প্রবলেমের জন্য ক্লাস করতে পারেনি।
Okay, 22.
জি
Okay,
ম্যাম
I will consider, I don't know about her problem, but I will consider her attendance. Is she male or female?
মেইল ম্যাম।
Male, sorry. I will consider his attendance, okay? Anyone, any problem?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, everyone, thank you for joining my today's class. Allah Hafiz, take care everyone, and have a nice Eid, okay?
জি ম্যাম, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Okay, ma'am. Thank
Sorry.
you.
ঈদ মুবারক ম্যাম।
Eid Mubarak, everyone, Eid Mubarak.
মুবারক ম্যাম।
Okay, ma'am.
Eid Mubarak. Thank you, Allah Hafiz.
আল্লাহ হাফেজ।